you so much. We're going to go on to our next submitters here in person. Positive Money New Zealand Incorporated. A couple of gentlemen here that were obviously presented, not obviously, but presented during our banking inquiry, and so we're familiar with you. If we can just have a introductory comments, and then we'll open it up for any questions. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, honorable committee members. I'm Cliff Hall, Auckland spokesman for Positive Money. This is Don Richards, national spokesman for Positive Money. We have Martin Taylor online. I'll speak for about 3 minutes, and then we'll leave the rest for questions. We're really pleased to be presenting to you today because we really think that we can help improve this bill. When we first read 2 of the clauses in this essential bill, we were alarmed. One of the clauses says that councils are permitted to borrow in a foreign currency, but wasn't it foreign denominated debt that caused so much pain and asset sales in the 1980s? Another clause permits lenders to extract every last cent from councils who are in financial trouble through security arrangements that we think are so onerous they would make a banker blush. We asked ourselves, we're curious, we wondered, are we running this country for the benefit of banks or for the benefit of people? Then it dawned on us, this bill's funding ideas are based on a false premise that the country doesn't have enough money and we must bend over backwards to attract foreign finance. But that's wrong. New Zealand's a sovereign country with its own currency. We can use our own reserve bank to fund some infrastructure at very low interest rates using what's called direct monetary financing, or DMF. New Zealand has used DMF before successfully from the 1980s right through to, from the 1930s right through the 1980s. Many councils are already overburdened with debt. They've got more debt than they can afford. This bill doubles the amount of debt that they can borrow, but does nothing about the cost. We think this is like throwing a drowning man an anchor. The stress is hitting not just councils, it's also hitting home. Ratepayers are struggling to pay their rates, let alone new water charges. One of Don's friends was in tears, saying due to high council rates, he can no longer afford to live in his house. He's going to have to sell up and rent. Nobody wants that. And it's unnecessary. DMF is part of the solution, lowering the cost and improving access to finance for all councils, small and large. We realize that finance is just one small bit of this very important piece of legislation. But if you don't get that right, then nothing else matters. Our submission includes a proposed framework we call local water financing done well, for council organizations to use DMF in a way which secures significant benefits and avoids commonly cited problems. It does it responsibly. Low cost, sustainable, intergenerationally fair, beneficial to all, not just the finance sector. Please recommend direct monetary financing. Thank you.
Very clear, very concise. Members, any further questions? Any questions at least? Lanfang?
Yeah, thank you very much for your submission. And I missed your previous submissions because I'm new with this bill on this committee. Sure. So I'm just wondering, what's the catch? You mentioned that, direct monetary financing was used from the 1930s to the 80s, but then it fell out of favour. What's the risks and why has it not been used since?
That's a very good question. There's no good reason why we can't do direct monetary financing now. The Reserve Bank has even said so. So why did it fall out of favor? People believe it's a bit too good to be true, but countries around the world actually are using it successfully. Mm-hmm. Banks don't particularly like it because we eat a bit of their lunch.
Thank you. We'll just follow up then. Do you have, when you say countries around the world are using it, do you have some examples?
Sure, Canada used it for 40 years.
Okay.
You want to add anything to that, Don?
Yeah, the People's Republic of China, the Chinese central bank uses it, and they provide funding to the regional entities. And it's also used to fund their promises and their aid they give to external parties.
Belton Road.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for coming in, and keep in touch with this process, as we've got a number of organisations and individuals over the next couple of weeks that will be presenting. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.